this ordinance meeting to order tonight, November 12th, 2025, 6:31 p.m. On the committee, we have online with us Councilor Bacon. In person, we have with us Councilor Bartley, Councilor Jenny Rivera, Councilor Meg McGrath-Smith, and myself, Israel Rivera. And then in council chambers, we have Councilor Patty Devine, Councilor Mike Sullivan, and Councilor Ocasio. Entertain a motion to start the meeting, I guess. And
you have to do a Zoom thing?
Oh, yes. Let me see. You are correct. Entertain a motion to take a roll call vote. That for the purposes of this meeting would be applicable to all motions to remove an item from the table, place items on the table, package items, or suspend the rules unless there is an objection.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
So entertain a motion to take up item 1.
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Hearing none. Item 1 was filed by Councilor McGrath-Smith on December 17, 2024. Order that the council separate the positions of Parks and Rec, Superintendent, Forester, and make necessary changes in ordinance. In order to do so, our current combined position is not supported by ordinance. We've had conversation on this before, and it came back. There were some responses. If you'd like to expand, if anything, Councilor McGrath-Smith.
No, thank you, Mr. Chair. I think the most important thing is to see if Kelly Curran has any updates or if there's been any progress made in the discussions with the union, because I know that was the next step.
All right, perfect. Before I recognize Ms. Curran, anyone else have anything else to chime in before I do that? Seeing none. Oh, wait.
I'd like to sort of point to address you on some of the subject.
Sure. Motion to suspend the rules to allow Mike Gallagher from DPW to speak.
You can come in and sit down if you want.
Okay.
Can I just say something real quick before Mike?
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry. While he settles in, go ahead.
Yeah, I just wanted to say there's nothing new that came out of the union discussions. They do support it, but we haven't moved further. I think it's kind of pending what happens here also.
About timeline? Okay, Councilor McGrath-Smith has a question about timeline. And it sounds like they're waiting on us, though, to see what we're going to do to them.
I did send them the draft job descriptions and haven't heard back. I'm not sure if Mr. Gallagher has anything that you've shared with him, but he is there to share his thoughts on it. And also he heard some things that people misinterpreted during our discussion, so he just wanted to clarify a few things.
Sure. You had Mr. Gallagher.
Just a point of order. I couldn't make out more than 3 words of what was just said there, Mr. Chair. So
Okay.
I'm just letting you know.
All right. Kelly, would you like to repeat just in case?
Well, I mean, I just
Or summarize?
Sure.
I read it from Mike, but
Can you hear me okay?
I have no idea what she said.
Yeah, I heard you, but I guess just in case.
So Mike is just going to give his opinion and clarify some things. So I'll give Mike the floor.
All right, thank you.
All right, I know at your last Ordinance Committee meeting, I think you said ended up going through the subject of the parks employees and the separation, everything, and I've been with the DPW since November 15th of 1999. I was there when in the mid-2000s, like around 2006 maybe, when the parks maintenance got merged into the DPW. And some of the things that happened back then, they cut a bunch of positions got cut through the years of Mayor Mike Sullivan's term through attrition. There were more employees at the DPW back then before the Parks Department was merged into the DPW than there are today, with including the Parks Department employees. So there has been a significant reduction, and one of the reasons the combining back then, from Mayor Sullivan's perspective, was like not have any replication of duties as far as taking care of some of the city properties and what have you. And what's happened today, I heard there was a complaint about Parks employees going to the going over to pick up trash. There's only one employee on the Parks maintenance crew that actually sometimes has to go on trash. It does not happen that often. He's the only position in the Parks maintenance crew that holds the job title heavy motor equipment operator. He has the CDL license to drive the trash trucks. And that position, the heavy motor equipment operator, that is on the Parks maintenance crew as part of jointly covering duties back and forth among the divisions, that heavy motor equipment operator position never existed on the Parks maintenance crew back then. And that position was removed from the highways budget and sent over and put over onto the Parks budget. And and now what happens today with the reduced amount of staff is the Parks maintenance Parks maintenance craftsmen, Parks maintenance men workers, they also occupy the non-CDL snowplows in the winter. Oftentimes there might be three drivers from Parks that are in snowplows during a snowstorm, covering first response runs. And on the other side of it, there's when the Parks needs help with dump trucks or payload or other equipment that the highway crew has, the highway department, the highway division will end up sending help to take care of whatever matters are in the parks. When Parks first came down to DPW, they used to be Parks and Forestry. They came together, and the Parks and Forestry is still considered one as far in the eyes of the Department of Public Works. And the DPW, the Public Works and the highway crew, they handle a lot of help with the tree work when the loaders needed or extra staffing when a lot of trees come down during storms. There's a lot of cross cooperation
Chair?
between the divisions.
Mr. Chair, just to Mike, you're going, and you're going long with a long sentence. Can you, just for me, just drill it down to where you are? The maker of the order is here. Mm-hmm. So the maker of the order says, order the council separate the positions of park super and city forester. Now, I don't know what the reason is, because that wasn't, last time we got two job descriptions, one of which I said was a flat out joke. It was one of the most poorly written job descriptions I've read in my life. It was nonsensical. So here you are now, and we're all ears. I just want to get please just give us your title first so the public knows who you are. I know who you are, obviously. And second off, if you would, what's your take on this order? And so I don't really need to have the whole history, but just try to get us down to the order if you would, please.
All right. I'm currently the interim director of the Department of Public Works.
All right.
And on this order, there could be some merit to the order because there's been one person doing both the job of the city forester and the parks maintenance supervisor for almost 20 years now.
And that's John.
That's John.
Okay.
And that's like I said, that's been going on for a long time now, and it was all part of the consolidation. Whether any of us agreed with it or not, the people in charge at the time, that's what happened, and that's what was done.
So just real quick, I guess to bring it back, how do you feel with the particular order? You're saying that there is some sense with regards to the position being split from two into one person, but I think it also sounds like there is some trepidation for you because you sound like you might lose some employees. Understanding that, I understand the system. I was a parks director, actually a commissioner for a while, and that's where I didn't file the order. I'm glad Councilor McGrath-Smith did, but when I was actually a parks commissioner, that's where I came to the understanding that we have no power when it comes to the parks. When we ask to get the grass cut, it's up to the DPW. When we ask to get the lines done for the baseball fields, it's up to the DPW. It's not up to the Parks Commission. It's not up to the Parks Director. So the people that are managing the parks, managing them in the sense of getting the contracts and getting the fees that are being paid by the people that are utilizing the fields, are expecting certain things to be done and they're not being done in a timely fashion, at least not for them. And understanding that there are a lot of other problems that are going on throughout the Department of Public Works. Totally understand that. It's not a simple job. It's very complex. Not only in Holyoke, in every city that this is a very complex job. I commend you guys. And thank you for being interim and taking on the role. It's been empty for quite some time. So we really appreciate that. I just think that the idea of, and I think the counselor can speak for herself, and you can feel free to speak up too as well. I think the idea behind it is that it's not been effective for both of us, right? And I say both of us all of us, but in the sense of Parks and Rec and for DPW. So trying to figure out a way that actually makes sense. If it means that bringing on, like giving you the staff that you needed in the past to make it effective and functional, then let's have that conversation, right? What do you need if this happens? What is it that you need? What would you need if this happened, right? And what would Parks and Recs need if this were to happen? So that way we can make it happen in a way that's fluid for everyone, and you're not stressed out because you're losing potential employees and you're going to be going crazy over that. We don't want that to happen. That is not the case. We just want to make sure that the work is being done in a way that if I call the Parks and Recs director, when is the calendar for when the lines get done, they can answer that question, right? Or when the grass gets cut, they can answer that question. They haven't been able to answer that question for some time right now. So I guess
I'm not.
Go ahead.
I'm not sure where the miscommunication there is, because whenever there's games, the supervisor right now, Mr. Tuig, he gets all the information from the parks office. He gets a schedule of when the games are, and he signs out the work with the staff that he has at the time.
And I'm not saying this just to make it up. Like I'm the president of girls softball for the little girls, right? And I play softball in the men's league and the Spanish league. So like it's not, I experience it on different levels. It's not just to say that I'm just bringing it up or that people are just saying it. This is a real life issue that people in the parks face on a regular basis. And that for us, where it's like I'm paying taxes or I'm doing this or I pay a fee for the field. Why is this the case? And the easiest, I think, solution would be is let's try to figure out where are the gaps in the system and the organizational structure. And if you can help us with that, we appreciate that.
I would typically guess that staffing is usually the number one gap. Right now, there's 2 people from the parks maintenance crew that are out. One of them's out on workers' compensation. One of them's out on an illness, off the job illness. There was a point earlier on in the summer where there was where I believe we're up to some days where there were minus 4 or 5 members of what is now considered a 9-man crew. The last position was staffed, and there was in this year's fiscal year budget, there was 1 position cut from that budget too. So right off the bat, they're down 1 position. And if we get days where individuals call out sick, sometimes there's more work than any one person can get to, right? Or the number of people that are available to do the work on that given day. We've got that's a problem that happens across all the divisions. I know some of the counselors in there have been frustrated with some of the work that the highway division has not been able to do this year. We ran into an extreme staffing shortage, combination of budget cuts over the years, some resignations, some employees that had to leave due to other circumstances, and then we've had other employees in the highway division that have been out on long-term injuries too. And it's really the work that the Department of Public Works does,
So thank you.
everything relies on people. I cannot get a single thing done without the workers that actually do the work.
And I appreciate that. I appreciate that comment because that's the reality of what it is. The people that get the work done are the actual workers. I'm going to recognize Councilor McGrath Smith and then you, Councilor Bartley.
Thank you. Through the chair to Mr. Gallagher. When we met last time to talk about this, we talked about separating the two positions and taking the forester position and removing them from the oversight of the Board of Public Works and moving them into oversight being directly by the DPW. And then we talked about the park superintendent position then moving to being under parks. Does that division make sense to you, or do you have concerns about that?
Well, the division of the park superintendent being put under parks, that could create a tug of war with the needs of the citizens at the time of the year. There's also it would create a problem when the parks maintenance was merged into the DPW. There was a contract memorandum of agreement done between the Parks Workers Guild, at the time it was the Holyoke Employees Association, which was prior to the UFCW Local 1459 that currently represents the Public Works employees, and the City of Holyoke. So there was a legal agreement that contract entered into, and all the positions for parks maintenance are currently under the UFCW Local 1459 DPW employees contract. So there would be a lot that would have to happen for that to take place. And you could go on further. The parks garage down at Springdale Park, there's the back section of it, the north section of that garage has been unusable for many years now. A section of it, I believe, has been removed. The majority of the parks equipment does get stored in the DPW garage at 63 Canal Street. So over the years, there's been a lot that has merged in, and there would be a lot of undoing that would need to happen.
Thank you.
Councilor Bartley.
Yeah, I think probably a motion to table is ultimately going to be kind of relevant. This is, I mean, the order, it's fine, except, I mean, you got, the council separates park and city forester. Okay, but to do that, you got to unwind what Mike Gallagher said was over 20 years of a precedent. Plus, you've got to get some input from 1459. Plus, we have an acting DPW superintendent, and I don't know when we're going to get a full-time DPW superintendent. Plus, we haven't heard from the park and rec director and/or the commissioners, and they ought to be able to weigh in and get some feedback. So, I think if I may, you should probably get a lot more feedback and put this off until sometime next year. And we've now taken it up for a third time, 3 months in a row. And I don't think we're any further along, Mr. Chair. I really don't. I think you've got to get a lot more written offline feedback from Mike, from the union people, and from the Park and Rec commissioners. Do it in this forum is just, it's inefficient, and we're not getting anywhere. So I'll hang back and I'll make the motion at table whenever you think is fit.
Thank you. Anyone else? Kelly, you have anything to add just in case?
Not, thank you.
All right, thank you. Before you motion to table, I have to say I agree with you, Councilor Bartley, that we're at a point now where we're somewhat at an impasse where the work of the administrators now got to get done. I think just the request in trying to figure out how we can make things more effective and efficient is the only thing that we could do. So moving forward, that tabling makes sense, and we can work on something in the future.
Well, before I do that, I want to say, you obviously said something important, just through this as a mic. Obviously, I mean, how many fields do we have, Mike? 45, 50 of them? I mean, there's a lot. So, and you can see the passion that from ball players. I'm a past ball player, I'm a past coach. I did all sorts of things all over City of Holyoke, all over the fields of the city, no matter what, whether baseball or football or soccer, did all that sort of stuff. So, we all have a real legacy that we want to maintain. But it's going to have to start with, to me, it seems like the number one thing is getting the staff situation fixed. And right now, we're lucky to have you doing what you do, and hopefully you'll stay a long time, but you're on one, you can't be on an island. So we need more mics and we need more people. But you see from Mr. Rivera, the passion and how much the parks mean to him, but he's not the only one. So I just want to make sure that's clear, okay? I mean, you know that anyhow, but, all right?
Yes, sir, I understand that. I played in all the parks when I was a kid. I've lived in Holyoke my whole life, and I had my own boys, are now in college, they played baseball and soccer and the various sports through these parks over the years too. I understand the need, and the department, Mr. Tuig, Mr. Mulquin, and the mayor, everybody understands the need. And I hope we can continue to make progress on getting the things that we need done.
So I'm going to motion a table.
Here, a second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Item 1 was tabled, and thank you, Mr. Gallagher, and thank you, Kelly, too, as well.
What do you want to do with the other ones? Do you want to combine these, or do you want to take them one at a time?
Motion to take up item 2 and 3 as a package.
Oh.
Suspend the rules.
Oh, there's that. Okay.
Here, a second. All in favor?
Sure.
Aye.
Second.
Anyone
Aye.
opposed? No. Well, I mean, not no, but none that I hear of. So, item 2 and 3. Item 2 was filed by Councilor Bacon and Councilor Jordan. Order that the City Council establish minimum eligibility requirements such as 4-year degree in accounting, finance, and 3-year successful management experience for appointment as treasurer prior to the initial appointment. And then 3 is order that salary range be established for the treasurer position as the appointment of the position rather than elected was approved by voters. So 2 and 3, let me see, what do I have here? Councilor Bacon, you can go ahead and kind of expand if you want. I mean, we've met on it a couple times already.
Okay.
On 2 at least, but I'll give you the floor since you made both of the orders.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Chairman. So I appreciate the job description that Kelly, our Director of Human Resources, has provided. I just have one clarifying question. In one section of it, it says maintains tax title files and proceeds to foreclose on unpaid tax titles, collection thereof, etc. And if I can just clarify through the chair to Kelly that means the same thing as conducts tax takings? Because I saw that was taken out and this language is in, and I just wanted to be sure they meant the same thing.
Kelly?
Yeah, thanks, Councilor Bacon. That's my understanding. I did share it with TJ for his input, and I believe he's the one that edited that language.
Okay, thank you. So just for my understanding, we've kept the duties of the treasurer essentially the same. Maybe there's some rewording, but we haven't substantially changed the duties or the role. Would that be
No.
accurate?
That is accurate, yes.
Okay, thank you very much. In that case, then I'm happy to support the draft job description because we did put in the other duties that might not have been captured as the ability to be modified at our last meeting. So I think for me, that looks good. And relative to the salary scale, the grade 14 on the job description looks totally correct to me with the 85.9 to the 118.8. I'm not sure what committee will be doing. If we vote this out, as this states, it looks like the 118 in a later order, if, well, and it all is dependent on what the committee and the council does. But right now, the max for the next item, item 3, is 118,862. If Schedule A was by chance recommended for this meeting, and if it was approved by the council, that would change the upper range from 118 to 140 to 57, which is a very significant difference. So I'm supporting the range that we have in front of us, but it looks like it could possibly change. So I don't know if through the chair, if Kelly wants to comment on that, or if Schedule A is voted through, it would happen later. So would this scale still be in effect for the posting? If that could be clarified, that would be helpful to me. Thanks.
Yes. 1 second, Kelly. I see Councilor Margaret Sullivan's hand raised, but I'm gonna recognize you first, Kelly. After you, I'll go to you, Mike.
I was just going to say, it is possible to be changed if Schedule A ranges are approved to be increased, but it doesn't necessarily mean that we have to give them a raise at that time either. But I think, the more we could offer, not saying give away the farm, but the chances of getting a more highly qualified person are greater.
Okay, thank you.
Councilor Sullivan.
Yeah, maybe somebody could clarify for me, the range on Schedule A is what? Did I hear 140 to 157?
Kelly can clarify.
No, I don't have it in front of me. I think Councilor Bacon does, but it's grade 14.
114 to 157?
No, it's grade 14.
Excuse me, I have the range. So if Schedule A is approved, the minimum would become 101,387. The mid would be 120,821. The max would be 140,257. Right now, it's 85,900 to 118,862.
Okay. So my comment here, and this is drawing on some research from friends of mine in the corporate world and my own experiences, if we go out there and advertise this at 85 to 118, we are not going to get a qualified person. We are completely wasting our time, all right? And we've heard it already from TJ Plant, all right? I've also heard it from Sean Cronin, right? And now I've heard it from the former chairman of the board of Bentley College and major recruiters out of the area down there that supply jobs. You're looking at the range that was suggested, $120,000 to $150,000. So we've got to be somewhere in that Schedule A medium to maximum range if we're going to be successful with this. Anything else is going to be a complete waste of time, and we're not going to bring in somebody with the experience and the know-how and the knowledge to make this position do what we need it to do for the city.
Thank you. Anyone else? Councilor Bartley, go ahead.
Just want to ask you a question. We do have the city treasurer office job description. I made numerous edits to this thing. Are we going over this tonight, this job description? And then I also had questions about, not many, I thought the ordinance change was okay. I just want to add a couple small things to the ordinance change. So you tell me because I've got myriad questions about the job description.
I mean, you can go into the questions. I think.
But I don't have to. I can do this offline. I can do it now. I can just run through it real quick. You tell me. I don't want to bog the meeting down. But the job description, I think, needs some work. And but I'll.
I guess for me, the reality is that we're going to probably be looking for a combined treasurer tax collector anyways. So I'm not
Yeah, I
sure.
agree.
I'm not sure that this is probably going to pass if it goes to full council
Yeah, I would.
as is.
Yeah, well, then let me give the Reader's Digest version if I may.
Go ahead.
Would
Go
that be
ahead.
okay?
No, I've got no problems. I'm
And
here.
if I'm going too long, just sort of,
I'll do that.
yeah, please,
I
because
got you.
I don't want to monopolize it, okay?
Nah, it's cool.
I
Go
did
ahead.
put in a fair amount of work on this.
Do your thing.
Okay, Ms. Curran, do you have the job description in front of you?
I don't, but I could pull it up.
Oh,
Give me
yeah,
one
good
second.
idea,
But
yeah.
I can take notes based off what you're saying.
Let me know when you have it.
Almost there.
Yep. All right, so she's almost there, so I'm going to, first, and I'll just talk directly to the chair for right now. So, Mr. Chair, so this one says reports to Chief Administrative and Financial Officer. Do we have that in ordinance?
I think we're working on that.
Well, first off, we don't. The answer is we don't.
Yeah,
But
we don't.
that's okay. So to me, it should just say report to the mayor. Okay, so that's one. It says position summary under the mayor and/or CAFO's direction. So you can strike and/or CAFO's because we don't have a CAFO. Then in that same paragraph, Mr. Chair, you go 1, 2, 3 lines down. The treasurer serves as a member of the, in capital letters, city's financial management team. Now that's all capitalized. Well, where's that defined? So when you start doing stuff like that, you just write it in because it feels good or it looks good, but you need to define it. It's not defined anywhere. It's a made-up term. So I don't mind the term, but if the HR director is going to start doing that, it's got to be something legit, in my opinion.
So you're saying to define it in the job description?
Somewhere, I mean, it says in capital letters, city's financial management team.
Yep,
What
yep.
is it? Who are they? Where are they? I think it would help the treasurer to understand that. Just keep going down. It's a small thing, but it says at the last sentence of that first paragraph, employees are required to perform all similar and related duties. I think they mean the treasurer is required to perform all similar and related duties, comma, as follows. And
Probably,
so,
excuse me. Oh, you're in that same paragraph. Okay, sorry. I was looking down at some bullets.
yeah, take
Go ahead.
it. So, and then just in terms of the bullets, once you enumerate them, so I think you've got 13 bullets on there. I mean, it just makes it so much easier to get to something faster if you just enumerate it. Then it says receives and takes charge of all monies. Well, how about receives and accounts for? I mean, that's kind of what a treasurer does, right? You don't take charge of a money. So, I mean, I know that's small. Then in that same paragraph, last sentence, reconciles cash receipts with the city accountant. Okay, who's the city accountant?
Currently, Sharon Bittner Willis.
Who?
Sharon Bittner Willis in the auditor's office.
Yeah, but she can't.
Yeah, that's not how it works. So,
Oh,
well,
you
first,
asked who the accountant was. We do have an accountant position.
no, but but usually the treasurer wouldn't. The treasurer would refer to the city auditor, and then the city auditor would then reconcile with the city accountant. Then they would get to. So this is not exactly the way we do it here. So I think you need to go back to the auditor's department and work on this a little more closely. I'm almost done. So and this is important for you, especially Chair Rivera. I really want you to hone in on this because it's so important that you drill down. Do you see where it says reports to the Department of Revenue and puts a period there? It says reconciles, right, Councilor McGrath, reconciles cash receipts with the city accountant on a monthly basis, submits quarterly reports to DOR, and it just ends it. Well, how about copies to the clerk? How about copies to the city council administrative assistant? How about posting it online and putting that right in the description? Yeah, I'm not going to be here to deal with this stuff, but you guys are. It's so important for you to stay on top of this stuff. That's checks and balances. Just sending it to DOR, okay. Well, how many of these quarterly reports have been sent to DOR the last 3 years? Well, we wouldn't know. I bet 0. That's my guess, but it's only a guess. But it'd be nice to have it somewhere, and this is just a job description. It'd be nice to have, and we're going to get to how the job description is going to be referred to in the ordinance, and that way there, you've got it ordained by reference. So I'll talk about that in a second. I'm almost there, my friend. Okay, so blah, 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 looks good. The bullet 2, bullet 3. Bullet 3, though, is somewhat interesting. It's about tax title, but it's about auctions. Well, we don't even do auctions. We've had one. We had one auction. One, exactly one. And so to me, should be a segregated bullet. Take out auctions as a separated thing. Tax title is separate from city auctions. City auctions is how you dispose of property you've acquired through, among other ways, tax title. That's a whole separate thing. And if you're going to talk about public auctions, you need to, and dealing with the Register of Deeds, you got to talk about outside counsel, but more importantly, you got to talk about our own law department. They can handle that stuff. That's like simple. But even if it's not simple, it's simple for those that do it, but it's really straightforward. Law, doing that stuff. But you got to know what the process is. And outside counsel usually is the one that deals with the land court, and that's tax title. And that takes a little more finesse. But certainly our own law department is more than capable, I think, of handling tax titles. But I think they're more than capable, certainly, of dealing with the advising on the auction, making sure the legal language is right, doing all the stuff you got to do. So I just want to make sure that you're in tune with that, Mr. Chair. Then skipping down, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, fifth bullet, determines and oversees all banking and financial advisory services, as well as the reconciliation of all cash and bank accounts and the preparation of DOR. Okay, now that is just super important. That should be like bullet 1, but I also want to add on there any kind of reconciliations and any reporting to the DOR should be publicly disclosed to the extent that we can, and it should be reported to the clerk and the administrative assistant and hopefully put online. So that's something that should be, and then the last one I'm going to say is, let me see, 1, 2, 3 from the bottom. Look at that sentence. Maintains knowledge of statutory requirements and applicable technology in support of the department. What does that even mean? I mean, it's a meaningless bullet. I think basically you can either eliminate that or you can rewrite it to make it sound like it's something. But I don't think it really, that bullet really doesn't add much. It's kind of like receives and takes charge of all the monies. What? So in the first bullet. So, 95% of this is great. So I should have started with that part. 95% is great. It's the 5% that I just would like to see amended. And my last point is, if we're going to have, I think this ordinance, I mean, I just got it today, so I didn't read it, but I went through most of it. I'd like to see in the ordinance itself a referral to the job description. That way there, Mr. Chair, as you and I know, I mean, look, we can say the job description is, the language of the job description is part of the ordinance, and then, but you don't have to come back to the city council and tweak the job description. That would be cumbersome. So I hope we can make, otherwise I think I don't know where the law department would want to put it, and if the law department is okay with referring to because this job description is really important, and I just want to have, I would like to have that referred to in the ordinance, so that way there, it has some kind of a foundation in law. And that's how so I guess I'll make that motion. My motion would be that the ordinance as amended looks good, but I would like to amend it to add verbiage in there relative to referring to the city treasurer's job description, so it's supported by city ordinance.
Here,
I'll second that.
All in favor? Well, I mean, roll call
Aye.
vote. Roll call vote for the amendment, just because we have somebody online, just to be sure.
Yeah.
And the amendment is to make sure that the job description is attached to the city ordinance, and they have to do the verbiage
Yeah, you know what I
and
mean.
write it in.
Yeah.
Yep. So Councilor Vacan first.
Yes,
Councilor Bartley.
Yes.
Councilor McGrath-Smith.
Yes.
Councilor Jenny Rivera.
Yes.
Councilor Israel Rivera. Yes, that's 5-0 on.
Then in terms of this, I think it's okay. I just like to, so I don't know if you want to, I mean, I just gave my opinion.
Yep.
That's all I did was give my opinion.
Yep.
So I don't think it's something we vote on for the treasurer's office, but I feel much more comfortable having this be revised with at least some of the things I suggested. But in the meantime, I got no problem setting this to, as amended to, I mean, they can add the job script. I got no problem sending this as amended to the city council, if you want.
I'll second that.
Item 2, are we talking about?
Yeah, well,
That's a second under discussion.
Well, the
If-
language.
If that's in,
Yeah, that'd be my motion.
okay,
As a-
okay, second.
Yeah.
And we're talking about the item 2 language for the ordinance, revising the duty of treasurer and,
Yeah, Mr. President?
yes, go ahead, Mr. Chair.
Could be Mr. President.
Nah,
Sure.
Go ahead.
So I read all this. I think the law department did a heck of a job with it. I really don't have, the only change I have would be so minor, I don't even want to say it. So I'm going to not say it, but I do want to add the job description. That's the only, and we added that. But the rest of it is, I think, very good.
thank you. Councilor McGrath-Smith?
Thank you, Chair Rivera. I would love to see us table this until we have the revised description. And I think also it may make sense to table it until we can also look at what a treasurer collector combined position would look like and then bring both to council at the same time. That's my thinking.
Councilor Vacan, and then Councilor Patty Devine. But Councilor Vacan has her hand up.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Just to clarify, my order is about establishing the minimum eligibility requirements for the position. It's not really the purview, I don't believe, of the committee to specifically write or vote on the job description itself. I think our role is to address the ordinance, which I think has been done satisfactorily. It doesn't mean that if it's put forward that it can't be amended going forward. But as has been noted, we are running out of time relative to the position of treasurer being vacant in February. And so I think it would behoove us to move the ordinance forward. I would also note, I know we're under discussion on the motion relative to item 2, so I'll leave it there. And I have something to say about item 3, but I don't want to
Go ahead.
stop the order.
No, you can go ahead, because they're both together. If you want to just talk about them both right now, that's fine. Go ahead.
Well, I was just going to also remind the committee that we can vote on the salary range for the treasurer separately from Schedule A, because there's a separate and unique order relative to it, because it is a new position being appointed. Thank you.
Thank you. That being said, I think for me, I would probably also err on the caution of tabling for the moment, just to make sure that all our ducks are in order, so that when we do this, we can do this all one time the right way, and not having to come back and undo or redo or do over. But I see Councilor Devine goes,
And Counselor Sullivan, too.
yes, I saw both of y'all.
I
so
wasn't sure if you saw this.
No, I saw him over here from the peripherals.
Okay.
Councilor Devine, go ahead.
Yeah, first of all, I wanted to thank Kelly and her department for putting this job description together. And I know that there's certain changes that may need to be made. So if you're going to table it, I'd prefer that you send a copy of those changes, if you're agreeing with those changes, to the law department and see if they agree with it.
Thank you. And then Councilor Sullivan.
I would just like to second Councilor Bacon's urgency on this, that we do not table it. If there's some small changing or sort of tweaking done, get it done and have this thing ready for the next council meeting. We got to get going on this. We can't keep operating without a treasurer. And we got to wait for your next meeting. That's not going to make it for the next city council meeting. So we're going to be into December trying to advertise. And I think, do we even have 2 meetings in December? I don't know. It's just, we got to get going on this. So if it takes a little extra time, I know everybody's been complaining about that and having it done in committee and not having a big debate or discussion about it, but if it's just some little tweaking and this is too important, this is too critical, we got to get this going.
And while I don't disagree, and I'm not trying to go back and forth or like try to debate about it, I think the situation lies is that if there is a path that was kind of chartered through the Fiscal Financial Modernization Act, where we're going to do a tax collector combined with a treasurer, and right now what someone is applying to is a treasurer position, that changes the whole landscapes of things while they're currently in the position. So if, again, this is us trying to do things in a way that's actually planned out ahead of time, I don't disagree that this is a critical matter and that this is something that we should be having at the forefront. I do not disagree. It's just that if we do this and we go forward, it's going to totally change the way that whole situation is going to be moving forward, and we're going to have to undo that too again, just like what we're doing now. I don't disagree that it's a critical matter again, but if people want to push it forward, we can push it forward, but understand that when we get to full council, that there's going to have to be some negotiations and there might be some amendments in the full council as it happens. But again, anyone else? Just Councilor Bartley, my bad.
I hear you on that, but I think right now there's a case of inertia. So I think, to me, you can always send this up to the full city council and lay it on a table there until you get some more information. I have no problem sending this job description I think the job description should be sent to the law department. But I think all the changes I made probably don't need a legal eye. I think they're just terms of city financial management team. Well, what's that? Takes charge. I mean, there's just some stuff in here that's just kind of floating around that just needs to be clarified. And on top of that, we don't have a CAFO. So the way this is written, reporting to a CAFO that doesn't exist. So it doesn't exist now. So I don't think you need a law department to go figure that out. At least I don't, anyhow. So I think there's so many good references. It looks like the law department went through this already at one point because there's a lot of references to MGL in here. So I think if you, the only thing we're really voting on is the job description. I think they covered that. I didn't have any remarks on page 2 of this, and that's where they went through the job description. I think it's great. And then my only one was on the essential functions. So I think this thing is ready to go before the full city council. I think the only caveat we already voted on was to add a reference to the job description in the ordinance. And I think that way, that really makes it our job, as opposed to what a prior speaker said, to really look at the verbiage of the job description. So we just voted to add the job description into the ordinance. Well, since we did that, and it's approved next week, then it's incumbent upon us to really understand what the verbiage is, and I think we did that in the job description. So I just wanted to put that out there. So, I mean, look, it's up to you guys. If you want to vote 3-2 to table it, fine, but the motion's on the floor to send it to full city council, and you can do it without a recommendation if you want, just to send it up there, but that's how I look at it. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor Bartley. Councilor Bacon?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So I just want to make a couple of points. One is that grade 14 is what had been recommended for the combined treasurer collector position, and grade 14 is what is moving forward with the treasurer position. And so the person or people that will be applying for this position are in that higher grade component. And I see no reason why the discussion and the goals of combining those offices could not be disclosed, whether they haven't passed, but it doesn't mean that they couldn't pass. And in the course of the process, that person could be made aware that there is a likelihood it would be happening. So I really think we need to move this forward. And I think we should go with that grade recommendation for the position as a unique range, as we've already discussed under 2.
So
But I hope we will move
for clarification,
relative to item 3.
yeah, no, yeah, for clarification, are we saying move 2 and 3 forward? Because I feel like I'm hearing two different things. I feel like I'm hearing 2 forward and 3 to be sent to legal for edits,
No,
or
no,
3 forward
I'm-
and sent to legal with edits, so that when it comes to
I'm-
full council, it comes with the edits.
I'm supporting moving item 2 forward as amended. That is the ordinance change, which is what
For 2,
my
yes.
order is. For item 3, I am encouraging the committee to recommend a range for the position to the city council for the position of treasurer. I'm simply noting that the grade in this job description, which has everything in it except the taking the responsibility for the collector functions, is going to be advertised, if the city council approves it, at the same grade as treasurer collector.
Well, while I hear that, right, and I know Councilor Devine has her hand raised, I guess the issue
Yeah.
I have with that is that it's not being posted with the collector's like duties in the job description. So like that is, I don't know, like, if I'm recruiting someone as a job recruiter, I feel like that's going to be a recipe for someone to say, well, that wasn't in my job description in the beginning. Like you guys just added that later on. And then if we're going to give them the schedule level of 14 from the beginning without the duties, how do you guys say it? You're putting the cart before the horse? That's how you guys say it, right? Like I'm trying to figure out, like, this is why, again, it's not that it's not critical, but we can't continue to just keep pushing things forward in a way that's just reactionary. We actually have to put something forward that has a plan with it. Like it was mentioned, I'm with it. We could push it forward to the council. But what I'm trying to say is that, like, if we're doing it, hopefully it's something that all right, Councilor Devine, go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to say exactly what
Can
you
I,
were saying.
can I,
Let me recognize Councilor Devine, and I got you, Councilor Bacon, real quick. I'm sorry.
That's exactly what I was going to say that you had said, Mr. Chairman. You have a job description here, and then at some point in the future, and I believe this will happen, the CAFO position will pass, and then you have the tax collector portion of it, treasurer tax collector. And like you said, somebody's going to apply for this job. The money for those particular positions is not good. And then you're going to get somebody to apply, interview, all this stuff. And then come February, it's going to be a tax collector treasurer position. So that's kind of a problem.
Yeah, and Councilor Bacon. Thank you, Councilor Devine.
thank you. So the point that I was trying to make that apparently I didn't make very clearly was that the treasurer position is, in terms of qualifications and duties as we have currently described it, a higher level position than the other finance positions in the city. We have included in that job description other related duties as determined by the council and the mayor. It's widely known that we are considering combining those departments. So I do not think it is a conflict if we are bringing that treasurer in at the higher pay grade to give them an alert that it is possible, and some say likely, and some say definitely, that this is what will be happening going forward. It's transparent, it's open, they understand what the possibility is, and they are being brought in at a higher level with higher qualifications than the other positions. So I don't see it as a conflict, and counselors can certainly amend it. And we have, I believe, we have the copy of the treasurer collector job description developed as well. So it's not a foreign document. So I would just encourage us to move it to council, even without a recommendation. If the council doesn't want to move on it, they want to take them together, it can just be tabled, but the documentation and the language is available in that way. If we keep it in committee, another month goes by, and it's been in committee since February. Thank you.
This is not, this one particularly hasn't, but.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes,
Sorry,
Councilor
just
Devine,
one-
I'm sorry.
The last bullet point, it says, any other duties as established by the mayor or the city council.
So you're saying
Uh,
it covers it?
I would just put by the mayor and delete or the city council.
Oh, for that, so,
But you can't, it does say or.
yeah.
So.
Okay, so, I guess what is the will of the body for, so let's separate them. Can we separate them? Can we do a 2 and a 3, or do
Yeah, I
we?
think the motion on the table is only for item 2 right now.
Okay, well, actually, you took them on a package.
Yeah, but we can vote on it.
Right.
So, okay, got you. I'm with you. So the motion on 2 is, was made and seconded, and which is to accept the language as is,
As amended,
as amended.
as
Okay.
amended, right.
And send to council.
And send to full,
Or the council.
send to full council, I guess, on the vote. And this is for the ordinance. So on the vote, Councilor Bartley,
Yes.
Councilor Bacon,
Yes,
Councilor McGrath Smith,
Yes.
Councilor Jenny Rivera,
Yes.
and then Councilor Israel Rivera. I'll say yes for now. Let's move.
Then on number 3, I got no problem with the range that Kelly and Mike kind of talked about. Well, that range that's,
The higher range.
yeah, so
Range
I
14.
recommend that we refer to city council, the pay rate for the 101, 128, 140 range. I know I'm
We're a little
paraphrasing.
off, yeah.
I know I'm paraphrasing it.
Yep,
so
we got it.
You know what I mean.
second.
Second, any other things on the discussion? So what we're saying, the only amendment for this is the pay range?
Yes, the salary
That
range
is
be
the
established.
order.
Yeah, salary range be established.
All right. Right, on the motion, so salary range established to, I believe it was 101.3 or something like that,
Yeah, 101, 128, 140,
to 140.
and the change.
Yep, and Councilor Bartley,
Yes.
Councilor Bacon,
Yes,
Councilor McGrath Smith,
Yes.
Councilor Jenny Rivera,
Yes.
and then Councilor Israel Rivera. Yes,
All right, good job.
5-0.
Want to take 4 off the table?
I got seconded. Item 4. All in favor?
Aye.
Item 4, filed by Councilor McGee. Department has been given the authority to hire Schedule A position above mid-range up to no more than max without needing further approval from City Council due to special circumstances. This is an item that was filed by Councilor McGee. It was tabled on October 22nd, but this was actually, I believe I had filed a similar order a while back.
You want to take it up now? Just get it out of your jacket?
I was checking to see if it was there. I don't see it.
In the meantime, I got my hand raised, so.
Yeah, go ahead, Councilor Bartley.
Okay, my changes to this are fine. I think the law department did a fine job with it. But it says the mayor may be authorized. So,
With approval of the City Council is what you're saying?
no, because this is for exigent circumstances.
Okay.
So I said the mayor shall be authorized.
Okay.
So I would change the mayor, but then it says hiring under special circumstances, Mr. Chair. You know what special circumstances are? I know I don't. So it would be helpful to me if we could lay some sort of a definition on this. Now, remember what we said earlier in the last meeting. We did talk, when a new employee is hired above the mid-range, an official communication shall be provided to the clerk for inclusion. Okay, so that got inserted, and that's great. But I think the mayor is hereby authorized to offer a starting salary to a prospective employee above the mid-range as set by the salary schedule for the particular position. You know, you can write in particular if you want, but I don't want to, maybe a lot of departments like that, but the specific position. Then it says, in no case shall the proposed salary be above the maximum salary. Okay, there you go. Then it says, when a new employee is hired, an official communication shall be sent to the clerk. All right, there you go. So, but my only problem is under special circumstances. Well, who defines special circumstances?
There should be a definition.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, something. I mean, I see what Todd wrote in here. Department heads be given the authority to hire Schedule A position above the range up to no more than the max without needing further approval due to special circumstances. Well, he doesn't describe it either. So,
So-
I mean, I don't know. I think really, to me, it would be important to get the mayor's take and Mr. TJ's, wherever he is, whatever his title is, and anybody else's take. Just, what kind of special circumstances? Would it be for an emergency based upon a temporary thing? Would it be to fill in a gap in one of the top positions? Maybe it's for specific jobs, right? Maybe that's a special circumstance. Maybe for treasurer collector, city auditor, DPW superintendent, the big ones. Do you know what I mean?
Yep.
But we got to hear from the mayor on that. Otherwise, I got no problem doing this. I mean, I'm going to make, when time is right, I'll make the motion that change made to shall be authorized.
So, real quick, the one that I said it was similar was item 19, and it's in the jacket. If we can do a motion, it's to take it up coupled with this one, so that way we could just
Oh, yeah, so moved.
motion, please. And he's for the second, so I guess I'll do the motion, right? Item to take up motion to take. I'm sorry. So, motion to take up. Someone entertain a motion to take up item 19, and he'll second.
Second.
So, all right, second. All right, boom. So item 19 was filed by myself. Order that an ordinance be adopted authorizing newly hired employees to be paid above the mid-range without approval of the city council. So this one's being coupled with Councilor McGee, or former Councilor McGee's. That department has to be given the authority to hire a Schedule A position above mid-range. So other than that, if no one else has any other, Councilor McGrath-Smith.
Thank you, Chair Rivera. I have gone back and forth on this a lot, and I'm very torn. I think that this comes in general out of our salary ranges in general being on the lower side, and us finding more increasingly that we are having positions unfilled and that we are not competitive in what we're offering. And so there's this desire to be able to give the mayor flexibility to offer more. But I don't think that that is great when what we want is able to have salaries that are on a schedule where there's a degree of fairness, because someone gets hired in and they get hired in at a certain amount and then they make raises based on how they do over time. And I do worry if this is applied more broadly, because it could be. We could suddenly see every position that comes forward being offered above the mid-range. Do I think that's going to happen? No, but it could. I think we all understand sort of these, to Councilor Bartley's point, the strategic need. Like this is a unique, hard-to-find skill set. It's a competitive market. There's a specific, really pressing strategic need to hire a person into a position that's been unfilled for a long time, and we need to hire an engineer, or we have to hire a DPW director. But it could be used for other positions as well, and I worry about how that impacts legacy employees who got hired at a lower rate, and now they're seeing folks joining in and getting hired at a higher rate. That would feel unfair. I think it would demoralize and could cause rifts in departments. So I totally understand the intent of this is to take the pressure off of these this situation where maybe the salary ranges are too low and create some flexibility to hire positions that are now starting to become chronically underfilled or filled for a time and there's a lot of turnover. But I worry about the impact of it if it's used to an extent by the mayor for a lot of positions. So I don't like it in general. If it's a contingency that's required because the council can't move on changing this schedules because of financial constraints, because of, there not being the political will to do so or the capacity to do so, then I understand maybe voting it forward and having that conversation, but I don't actually like it as policy. And I wanted to name that. And I'd also like to hear if the director of personnel, Kelly Curran, has anything to weigh in on that or on some of the concerns that I have, and if she thinks that fellow employees will potentially have some issues with folks being hired at grades above them.
Thank you. Kelly, before I recognize Linda, I see your hand raised. Councilor Vake. Go ahead, Kelly.
I think that we've done a very good job of trying to bring people up to competitive salaries. I know there's still room for improvement. People might be upset, but if we're offering significantly more money to someone coming in, it might be because they have an abundance of experience, extra education. There's various factors. The need, like Councilor Bartley was saying earlier, like we didn't have an engineer for a long time. So, we had to be competitive and offer a higher salary to get an engineer. So I do think that there are certain circumstances that we'll have to do it quickly, and we don't want to lose good candidates waiting for in order to go through. I do not think that the mayor would abuse that opportunity. I think he tries to be pretty fair with salaries and but I mean, who's to say future mayors? So I do understand your concern, Councilor McGrath. But I do know that if we have a good candidate and they can't take the mid-salary, we can't wait 3 months, to get it approved for them to be hired at a higher salary.
Thank you, Councilor Vagan, and then Councilor Bartley.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So my concerns are the same, and I believe I voiced them, and they mirror the concerns of Councilor McGrath Smith. So my suggestion would be that we create a list of the special circumstances and not make it too narrow, but to say, for example, if a position has been open for 6 months or more, or the position has had high turnover in the past 3 years, I'm thinking of the DPW director while I'm saying that. On the one hand, that would call perhaps for more flexibility, which we have given, but again, it took time. And the other special circumstance I could think of would be that if there is a candidate who comes in that has way higher and more qualifications than above the required ones that would fit the special circumstance needs of the job. And in that regard, I'm thinking of treasurer as an example. So I think if we put in those descriptors for special circumstances, they're fairly broad. They're not too prescriptive, but they allow for consideration of circumstances and also of the extremely highly qualified applicant that you would want to be able to give more to. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Councilor Bartley.
Yeah, no, the point's good enough. That's okay. Kelly, I think we need to table this, but can you just tell us whether you can get to the mayor, with the mayor, and get some kind of a list or a definition, as I referenced earlier, of special circumstances and come back to the chair with that so that we can, okay, all right, so what I heard her say is that she can do that, and then, of course, we want to go by the law department, we want to run it by them too. So why don't you, would you be okay with me motion? Okay, so just, we referred it to her, she'll get back to you. So based upon that, I'd like to table this until such time as she gets back to you.
Second.
Second.
All in favor? Wait.
Aye.
Well, I got the roll call vote anyway. So the motion is to table. I apologize for that. So the motion is to table. Counselor Bartley.
Yes.
Counselor Bacon.
Yes.
Counselor McGrath Smith.
Yes.
Counselor Jenny Rivera.
Yes.
And Counselor Israel Rivera. Yes. So that's item 4, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And 19 on the agenda, both tabled, coupled together.
Yeah. Mr. Chair, can we
Yes.
go out of order for the rest of the meeting? This is my time, and I'd like to take up number 6 if I could, and then just kind of get through the rest of it. And number 5, I'm not going to be here for that part, because that's,
Yeah, don't worry about that.
I can already feel being tortured, so can we just go out of order and take up number 6, please?
Number 6, yes. There's a second. All in favor?
Aye.
That's 2 ayes, 3 ayes.
Yes.
Okay, 4, 5. Gotcha. And then item 6 is filed by Councilor Devine, that city designate 4 parking spots in front of the police department. That's police business only, table 102225. Councilor Devine, just to expand more.
When this was taken up and we talked about it, everybody thought it was for the police. It's not. It's for the public. So I would recommend that the 4 signs be either 15-minute parking or 30-minute parking. I don't know that the public has ever gone into the police department for longer than 15 minutes to 30. So my suggestion, if you want 30 minutes parking, leave the word police out, and that would do it.
Okay, so
Thank you.
my motion will be, it says because we have the legal form, right? Or legal description. The city designates 4 parking spots in front of the police department as, quote, police business only, unquote. So I would just amend that to say so just put a time period on there for a maximum of, what do you think, Mr. Chair? An hour? Half an hour? And I only say that because remember the concern was about the neighbors around the corner.
Right.
And it should be Monday through,
I feel like I agree with the 15-minute point.
15.
Yeah, at 15 at first. When
is that tight?
When Councilor Devine recommended it to me too, I said the same thing. I thought it was tight first, but there really isn't anyone necessarily policing it anyways. So if you need more than 15 minutes, you're in the police station. Like you can make
they'll be policing. The guys go by all the time.
They don't necessarily go down that side. So the guys that do the traffic ticket stuff, they only do High Street and the little parking lots. They don't do that side right there. So if you're there they wouldn't even know if you're there more than 15 minutes or not. Like,
Can I ask you a question? Why don't we just install meters? And then just say,
that's for the parking.
maximum.
I think the parking committee has to do, recommend that to us.
Well, should we get a recommendation from the parking advisory committee on this at all, or do we need to do that, or just want to march it forward?
I thought about that, and my understanding is that this does kind of have to go through them, but the police officer, I can't remember his name now, Mr. Bartolome?
It was,
Sergeant Bartolome.
Sergeant Bartolome is on the parking advisory committee already with us. It's me, you,
So you can
him.
present it to them.
So they already had a meeting not too long ago. They can have the conversation about it.
See, you're good with 15 minutes?
If we want to say 30 minutes, I'm cool with 30 minutes too. But I see
I'd
hands
be more
raised.
comfortable with 30 myself, but that's
Yeah.
just me.
Yeah, but just the thought process is if I've done 15 in different places. Carmen, go ahead. Councilor
What do you
Ocasio.
want to say?
I think 15 minutes is good enough because it's not really much to do there. You just got paperwork in and out. I mean,
All right.
in the meetings to go upstairs is like 5-10 minutes. I mean, I've been in there and done
Yeah.
that, so 15 minutes.
You gotta be there longer than 15 minutes. You gotta go park somewhere else.
So you got to park somewhere else. That's it.
This
Yeah,
is for quick.
that's for quick in and out.
Okay, I get it now.
Yep.
All right, I get it.
Yeah, so that's exact. I had the same
So we need to
responsibility.
specify the other, it all looks good to me. I approve it, just specify the 15-minute max. So my motion is to approve it with the one amendment to specify on the signage, specify in the ordinance 15 minutes maximum, and have that added to the signage.
Second.
Okay, under discussion, Counselor Devine, I see your hand raised. Go ahead.
I don't think you need the word maximum. I think anybody that drives around sees a parking spot and it says 15-minute parking.
Or whatever,
Yeah, whichever one is.
whatever the legal
yeah.
To
thing,
me, that's the simplest way to do it.
whatever it is.
But I think my concern is are we leaving the police business only there?
Yeah, I think so, right?
Oh.
Yeah.
Because the concern at the last meeting was that if someone reads it as police business, they would automatically think that it's for only police officers to park there.
Oh.
So I
we
think
want to say public parking.
right. So I would say public parking, and just maybe with the 15 minutes, just leave it there 15 minutes.
Oh, I like
you don't
that.
even gotta say the
Yeah, we can
police.
talk about that.
Because at the end of the day,
Okay.
you got 15 minutes, whether you're going in the police station or you're going to the Heritage Park.
There you go.
You know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter.
So parking, well, what's the language then? What do you say? Parking, 15
City-
minutes only? 15 minutes, I said maximum, but I heard that was not maybe a good word, but 15 minutes? 15 minutes maximum kind of spells it out, doesn't it?
I would say yes, but at the same time, if you just say 15 minutes, it's semantics at the end of the day. I think maybe we can give the ideology to the law department and they can send us back the actual language that would make sense. Let them,
Yeah, have them sort it out.
do that part.
Okay, so the motion be to approve this, and then just make sure it says public parking, and we want to make sure it's no more than 15 minutes. And they put whatever
Second.
words they want.
Under discussion, yes.
Public park, 15 minutes.
Under discussion, Counselor Devine.
It's no disrespect, but I don't know why you need the word public. How many times have you gone anywhere and you see a sign, 15-minute parking? That's all you need. But you start public,
You know,
who's the public? Is it the
Because we don't say police business only, that's why.
That's exactly
It's like a
why.
whole discussion.
Because we don't want to say police business.
That's right, from the police station, we don't want the cruisers parking there all day.
Right, because if
That's
if
the
it's
point
just
of
parking,
Public parking. So
if
we
it's
want to specify.
if it's only parking, then it could possibly mean even a cruiser could park there, right?
All day long.
All and possibly I don't know if they could be there all day, but yeah, no one can tell them not
Really
to,
good.
right?
Well, who's gonna tell them to move?
Right, that's what I was gonna say. No one can tell them not to, but I think that's the idea behind it with regards to that piece.
So we're specifying public parking, we're saying in the ordinance, that's why we're saying it.
And then Councilor Reagan, I had seen your hand raised earlier. Are you?
I'm all set, thank you.
You're all set? Okay. So, Jenny Rivera, Councilor.
So we can't, sorry, thank you. So we can't go back to where we originally agreed instead of putting, to stick to restricted area visitors and police business only? Or is that way too much?
That's way too, I would say that's a lot for a sign.
But that's what we're saying. without
But
that-
you're still saying it without
Okay.
saying it that way.
Okay.
You're saying this is, you're, in small words, you're saying parking 15 minutes only, and the only places you can go in 15 minutes are anywhere within that vicinity. So, that's pretty much it. So it is police station business without actually saying it, and because some people will read it and read it the wrong way. I know that's how I read it the first time, and then when they explained
Yeah,
it to
we
me,
did.
I was like, "Oh, it's not."
I read it the wrong way.
I was like, well, "They already got spaces, and what's happening here?" But
So we're okay with public parking, 15 minutes only. All right, there you go.
so it's on the motion. Councilor Bartley,
Yes.
Councilor Bacon,
Yes,
Councilor Jenny Rivera,
Yes.
Councilor McGrath Smith is out, and Councilor Israel Rivera, yes. So 4-0.
All right, number
7.
7.
second.
Yeah, motion receive and adopt.
Oh, yeah.
That's easy.
Yes, we were sent a notice on number 7.
We were?
Yeah, from
Oh,
Administrative Assistant Jeffrey Anderson Burgos. Let me see real quick.
what does it make?
Do you have it pulled up already, Meg? All right.
You want to just read it?
Go ahead.
It says regarding the 2 speed limit orders on tonight's agenda, items 7 and 8, I'll just read the one about 7 since we're on now. Item 7, Laurel Street would need to be adopted to make the change, which would remove the street from the speed schedule of streets that vary from the citywide limit of 25 miles per hour. And Mike Gallagher also reported that they were going to prioritize the street for other ways to try and mitigate the safety issues that residents have been experiencing. On both of these orders, there should also be a request with them that they place signs at both ends of the streets informing motorists of the citywide speed limit. This is suggested by DPW instead of just posting the 25 mile per hour signs, because otherwise the signs may require doing speed studies on streets.
So so moved. Okay, so that's, there you go. So moved. So just incorporate that verbiage right into the,
Into the legal form.
right into the legal form, right?
Okay. So,
For 7, and we'll do the same thing for 8 when that comes up.
okay, the motion was to accept the recommendations from the
From the DPW,
from the city engineer and
Yeah, engineer.
and the DPW superintendent.
Yeah.
Okay, 7.
for 7.
For 7.
We
And
have
we'll just do
the
it for 8 in a second.
legal language with it.
Oh, here
Is
it
it
is.
here?
Do we have it?
Hold on, let me see.
Yeah, we have it. It's attached.
And it already has all the stuff.
Yeah,
Oh, so there you go.
there you go.
So then we can vote on it to pass. Want to make a motion to vote on to send full council?
So my motion is to accept,
Recommendations?
to provide a recommendation for city council to accept number 7 as amended by Mike Gallagher and Matt Solkop, the city engineer, and the acting DPW superintendent, relative to the verbiage they provided.
Here, a second.
And
Second.
Under discussion, Councilor McGrath Smith.
Councilor Bartley, do you think we need to add a friendly amendment just about that language around requesting they place signs at both ends of the street
Does it say it on there?
of the citywide speed limit? It does not say it on the document itself, so I feel like we just have to add that to our order.
So moved.
Okay, so there's an amendment
Mike, you good?
to incorporate.
Second.
So moved.
Okay,
So
so,
moved, so we got that, and Jeff's got it all.
all right, so that amendment that was seconded, was an amendment to,
You got to vote on the amendment.
yeah. I just want to make sure
No,
I'm
no, I just
explaining.
So the amendment is to add to our order to approve this change in ordinance and to request the DPW place signs at both ends of the streets informing motorists of the citywide speed limit.
Of the speed- Okay, second. So then, with that said, roll call vote. Councilor Bartley.
Yes.
Councilor Vagan.
Yes.
Councilor McGrath Smith.
Yes.
Councilor Jenny Rivera.
Yes.
And Councilor Israel Rivera. Yes.
And that's on the amendment. Now we got
And that's on the amendment
now
now.
we got to vote on the
On the full.
order as amended.
Yep.
So I'll make a motion to approve the order as amended.
Second.
Second.
And then, roll call vote. Councilor Bartley.
Yes.
Councilor Vagan.
Yes.
Councilor McGrath Smith.
Yes.
And then Councilor Jenny Rivera.
Yes.
And Councilor Israel Rivera. That order was passed, I guess, 5-0.
I'll make a
Sent to
motion
full
to take
council.
up number 8.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Number 8 was ordered by, filed by Councilor Anderson Burgos, ordered that St. Jerome from Dwight to Sergeant be reduced from 30 miles per hour to 25. Speeding has been an issue, and the limit being higher than the citywide limit seems to give drivers the sense they can go much faster. So I believe I got I saw on the note that it said that this has already been completed and it's been done, because this is not on the city streetscape thing, but you can break it down more, Mr. Gallagher, if you'd like.
A little while back, Councilor Graney had contacted us about a tree branch blocking the 30-mile-an-hour speed limit sign on St. Jerome Ave. And I sent my crews out there to clear that out. I also happened to check the ordinance for the speed limits, and I discovered that the 30-mile-an-hour sign on St. Jerome Ave, it was an old one that had been there for, I have no idea how long, did not belong there, because there's actually no speed limit by ordinance on St. Jerome Ave. I just double-checked the speed table in the traffic and vehicles section of the ordinances while I was sitting back there. just to make sure I didn't miss it. I've looked for it several times, and I do not know why. Maybe somebody had a 30-mile-an-hour speed limit sign put up there back in when the thickly settled speed limit in the city was 30 miles an hour. Maybe the council took it up a couple of years ago to reduce the speed limit there. But I cannot find any ordinance on the speed limit there. And a concern I have with putting up a thickly settled 25-mile-an-hour speed limit on that section of St. Jerome is I think measurements will have to be done. The engineering will have to find out if it qualifies under the thickly settled district, because there's that long stretch between the two cemeteries where there would not be houses within 200 feet of each other. But as of right now, there's no speed limit signs up on St. Jerome Ave at all.
So, just real quick before I recognize anybody, if we're not, so right now is what I'm hearing is we're working around a specific situation for both of these items, right? And that specific situation is having to do traffic studies, because we don't want to pay the costs and take on the burden of doing the traffic study. I totally understand that, and I respect it for that time being. But for me, eventually, the traffic study has to be done, and it has to happen, because if not, then we don't know, right?
Yes, and to your point there, in the supplemental budget recently, which I believe a revised version has to go back to the city council on some of the changes, for engineering, there's a traffic box that's been funding like a little over $6,000 for a device that could handle doing it with our current engineering staff doing the traffic study themselves, instead of hiring out consultants and engineering firms.
Okay, that's good to hear at least.
That can be a possibility coming in the near future to be able to perform some of that, collect some of that data ourselves.
I appreciate that. I just wanted to point that out because I kept seeing that, and I'm like, I just want to make sure that in the future we're going to be doing these studies too, though. But Councilor Bartley, go ahead. You had your hand raised.
No, I was just going to say, maybe we should table this for St. Jerome Ave till we get some more intel relative to what Mike just said. I mean, I heard what he said about but, you know, it's kind of an important order, and I don't want to just sort of say complied with, especially I don't see the
He's not
here.
No, he's not
No,
here
he's not
at the
on.
moment.
So I'd hate to just say, I mean, we got to get some more intel.
No.
That's the way I look at it.
That's cool. Councilor Bacon, your hand is raised.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So for item 8, I believe the suggestion was that it was complied with because the 30-mile-an-hour sign has been taken down. And since we've already voted in a 25-mile-per-hour citywide limit on all of the streets, I was understanding that we could request that DPW place those citywide speed limit signs on each end of that street, and that would be acceptable.
Not necessarily, because we don't have the actual proof to say that that's acceptable, because the measurements and the data that the traffic study would do. If we had that, then we can literally go ahead and say, yes, we could slap it with the 25 ordinance. But because of it, that strip.
What I heard him say was that we would need to do that to determine if it's considered a congested area. But we adopted a citywide ordinance that all of our streets would be 25.
Mr. Gallagher,
a few years ago.
Feel free to elaborate, Mr. Gallagher.
Yeah, Councilor Bacon, I'll be happy to follow up and confirm information. My understanding of the citywide 25-mile-an-hour speed limit under the Massachusetts laws that the city adopted back in 2018 was it covered the thickly settled district, which generally there has to be houses within 200 feet of each other, or businesses for around a distance of approximately a quarter mile. And there's another part of it. There's another part of it that could cover like business districts, but that it came to my mind that that stretch of St. Jerome Ave may not qualify because of the stretch between the two cemeteries where there are no houses right now. But
Yes, you did say that. I had forgotten the limitations when we passed that law back then. Yeah, okay, thank you.
Thank you. So, the motion, or did you make the motion for it to be tabled?
I will if you want me to. Motion to table.
Yeah, sure. Second, so we'll go on the roll call vote. Counselor Bartley?
Yes.
Counselor Vacan?
Yes,
Counselor I was gonna say Jenny McGrath Smith. That's a ill mix up.
Yes.
In order.
All right, Counselor Rivera, Jenny?
Yes.
And Counselor McGrath Smith?
Yes.
And then Counselor
Let's
Israel
have table
Rivera?
go first once in a
Yes.
while.
I'll do that.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
It's just, I'm right-handed. You're right here on my right.
I'm a southpaw, so there you go.
So that's item 8. Entertain a motion to take up item 9. And it was seconded by Councilor Rivera. Item 9 was filed by Councilor Givner. In service of health and safety, order to install no parking pavement paint and signage at both sides of driveway to the building at 156 Oak Street. The building dumpster is accessed through the driveway. Service vehicles are unable to access dumpsters due to unenforced minimum parking distance to driveway violation, causing health concerns and fees to the property owner. So I spoke to this particular constituent, and they emailed me specifically stating that in the driveway, people park too close to the driveway. And it doesn't allow for the dumpster trucks to go in to empty out the trash bins, and that incurs another cost to the building owner because they have to tell them to come back another day. So what they're requesting is that if we can paint the little strips I got you, Mr. Gallagher. If we can paint on the little strips on the edges next to her driveway. I said that Councilor Givner did what she would do as a counselor, is to file the order and see if it could happen. I told her there's nothing saying that it can't happen, but I can't promise you it's gonna happen because there's a cost to putting the paint strips down, and we might not have that at the moment. But Mr. Gallagher, feel free.
Well, any painting right now at this moment, I wouldn't count on. I got one day in the next 2 weeks that the temperature reaches 52 degrees. It's just, we're beyond the weather for painting. But I'd be looking more in this, the standard state law and city ordinance for parking a driveway is 5 feet at either side of the driveway. What
She's
I wonder
requesting
is,
8 feet.
Huh?
She's requesting 8 feet.
That you would need a separate ordinance for anything beyond the 5 feet. I mean, if you're gonna make an ordinance, I would suggest going 10 feet from each side of the driveway if you were gonna put through a separate ordinance for it.
Okay.
As I understand that Oak Street's a lot of cars parked on both sides of the street. I've driven, spent many years driving trash trucks and what have you, and turning into a driveway on from Oak Street with a big truck, it would be a challenge if cars are squeezing the driveway. I completely understand the request for this.
So I guess for the constituent, I don't see us changing the ordinance to 10 feet at the moment, right? And at the moment, there's nothing that we can necessarily paint. Oh, Councilor Bartley, you have your hand raised. Go ahead. I didn't even notice. Go ahead.
Yeah, can we, why don't you refer to the city engineer
That makes sense.
to get his take on it?
Yeah.
And then have him then we can table it till we hear back. So I'll make a motion, we refer this to the city engineer to take a look at it and give us his opinion, so that maybe you can help the constituent, and if you can't, they're just gonna have to deal with it if you can't deal with it. But the city engineer should be able to help us, and then after that, just a motion to table be in order.
Yes. And then real quick, at the request of Councilor Ocasio, because these are similar, can we couple up items 73 and 74 and take them as a package with these?
So moved.
Item 73, DPW and city engineer revisit the crossing from Capri Pizza to Key Food. it's dangerous. Please install proper stop signs with light and speed humps. And then 74 is that it don't block the box. Be painted in front of Sergeant and Elm Street on both sides. So I guess just Mr. Gallagher, if you could speak on some of these quickly. And I know you haven't had time to kind of prepare, but
Send the engineer. Don't you?
we can actually send them. But
Send it out to the engineer.
but he can expand real quick, and
Oh,
then
no,
and we
no.
can send. Yeah, you're right. I'm
That'd
with
be
you.
my
Yep. Go ahead, Mr. Gallagher. I'm sorry.
Yeah, well, the Capri Pizza Key Foods, right now, the crosswalk that's in place and the signage that's in place is the most that can currently.
Okay, so it's
be done.
complied with?
Location of the crossing ramps and everything. And I don't know, I'm not sure off the top of my head what's in the plans for the Center City Connector.
Yes.
That project
Yep.
goes Cabot Street from South Canal up to Ray Street. Maybe
I think something
maybe
is
find out.
incorporated in that. There's going to be bump outs and like a crosswalk with that.
I could not see doing any kind of major modifications to the road there to have it torn right up.
Right.
It'd be a lot of money spent to be dug up again.
Thank you. And then 74 is the don't block the box. We know we heard you say you can't paint anything now, but come the spring season when it's time to paint, see if this is something that in the corner of Sergeant and Elm Street on both sides.
Can I explain that one?
Yes, Councilor Ocasio, go ahead.
Okay, on the corner of Sergeant and Elm Street is when you come in down Sergeant, and the bus is gonna take that right turn onto Elm Street. They can't. There's a problem. Again, cars parking on both sides, and the buses can't. It's a narrow little street. They cannot get by, and the bus drivers can do nothing about it but to leave the kids at the corner. Their parents have to pick them up right at the corner instead of in front of their houses. So that street is real narrow. Because one side, on that Elm Street, one side is all residential parking. It says residential parking only. So it's just one little side to go through. So they can't turn in there. The same problem that I'm having with the fire department going into South Summer Street because people park too close to the corner and they can't get through. So I don't know.
Thank you, Councilor Ocasio. Go ahead, Mike.
All right, does that sound like it's not a block to box for this middle of the intersection you're looking for? You're looking for like when we've done the striping near the corners.
Yeah, that's what she
and the
means.
parking,
Yeah,
the
that's-
parking lines, and
Yes.
that corner there. I would suggest actually referring to the engineers too. Is
Yes.
I'm thinking about how tight that corner can be, and driving a bus, the standard 20, no parking 20 feet from an intersection, would, even if cars were parked 20 feet from the intersection on both sides, with a bus coming down Sargent Street, trying to take a right onto Elm Street, that could be a difficult turn to navigate. That might want to get an engineering recommendation if an ordinance should be passed to make it no parking, say the version of the ordinance might be no parking on Elm Street from Sergeant Street to a point 30 feet south on both sides. Something to that effect might be in order, but that would be have the engineering take a look at that. Would be my recommendation.
Perfect. So then I'll entertain that motion.
Yeah, I'm gonna make one more motion, if
Go ahead.
that's okay?
Sure.
Because you'll notice, agenda item 106 is the exact same thing as we're just talking about with Carmen.
Okay.
But it says West Glen Street. It's the
Okay.
exact same thing with a narrow
I
street.
know you're talking about, yep.
Okay, so I'm gonna make a motion that we take 106 off the table, that we package 73, 74, and 106, and we send them to the city engineer for an assessment, and then circle back to you when it's ready.
Here a second?
Second.
On a roll call vote for the vote, Councilor McGrath-Smith,
Yes.
Councilor Jenny Rivera,
Yes.
Councilor Bacon,
Yes,
Counselor Bartley?
Yes.
And then Counselor Israel Rivera, yes. So that's 5-0. All of these orders will be sent to the city engineer's office for review and recommendation.
Then what do you want to do with,
We still got, what we got?
do we do with 8?
We got,
Did we do with it? Did we vote on it?
St. Jerome Sergeant reduced. I think we did
We did
8.
8?
Yeah, we did 8. We did 9. We're on 10 now.
Okay. All right.
So,
Okay, and 9 were, and 9 got sent over there too, right?
yep.
Okay.
So we got 10, 11, and 12.
All right, I'll make a motion to
13.
take top table.
Second.
All in favor?
Um,
So item 10 was,
Let's take up item 10 and 11 as a package.
Well, can we, I just want to do them, I can do them quick.
okay, all right. So then item 10,
But yeah, I
Bartley.
appreciate that, but we'll get to them quick.
Bartley, if the local option is adopted, the city of Holyoke create by ordinance a designated parking place for veterans at City Hall to be used in compliance with Chapter 40, whatever that sign is, 22A3.
Well, I'll make a motion that we accept the verbiage of section 22A and 3/4.
Here, a second.
Second.
And I'll just read it real fast.
Yeah,
So
go ahead.
I'm not gonna even read the whole thing.
On the discussion.
Thank you. Municipality it's chapter 40, 22A and 3/4. Okay. Municipality may designate a parking space at City Hall for a veteran that displays a veteran registration plate. The parking space shall be available during normal business hours of the city for use by a veteran. The municipality shall erect and maintain a sign designating such a parking space as follows, quote, "Veterans parking only." Then it goes on to some more things. Part B of it says, "A violation shall be punished by a fine of $100, and the city may provide for removal of a vehicle by a manner provided in 22D." So, to me, that's just receive and adopt. If everybody's okay with that.
That was another discussion. Do you have something? No?
Thank you, Chair Rivera. My only
Councilman Grassmith.
motion that I'd made before, and I don't know if we voted on it, was just to combine 10 and 11 because they're duplicate orders, just for different makers.
What, 10 and 11?
Oh, I had a, just delete 11. I'm sorry about that. I'm sorry, I read too far. Just delete 11 then, because 11's give it leave to withdraw.
Okay, so then let's vote on 10, and then
Yeah.
we'll go, okay, so for 10, we're on the motion now, which is to approve the language as is. Councilor Bartley just read it into the minutes.
Well, actually, delete 10 and leave 11 on it, because Howie and Carmel were on it. It just says the same thing. I
All right.
apologize.
All right, then, so then,
So,
well,
my motion is to give 10 leave to withdraw.
A second.
first you have to withdraw the other motion.
So moved.
Okay, so then now your new motion is to leave to withdraw this one.
10, yeah, give leave to.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Roll call vote, just out of, because I did it. Councilor McGrath Smith?
Yes.
Councilor Jenny Rivera?
Yes.
Councilor Bacon?
Yes.
Yes.
Councilor Bartley?
Yes.
And then Councilor Israel Rivera. And then motion.
Item 11 for the table?
Yep.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Item 11. is-
Motion be to receive and adopt the language in 40, 22A and 3/4.
Second.
Good night.
Right.
Good night.
I heard a second from Councilor McGrath Smith. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And then roll call vote to adopt the language around the giving authority during municipality working hours for veterans for a parking space. Councilor Bartley?
Yes.
Councilor McGrath Smith?
Yes.
Councilor Bacon?
Yes.
Councilor Jenny Rivera?
Yes.
Councilor Israel Rivera, yes, that passes 5-0.
Okay, thanks.
And then
Is here, okay.
we're item 12 now.
So take item, this is filed, I'll make motion to take 12 off the table.
Here, a second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Item 12, filed by Councilor Bartley, order that DPW remove the handicap sign at 43 King Street. It is no longer needed.
Yeah, motion to receive and adopt.
Disabilities
Second.
for anybody?
Yes, seconded, under discussion. Councilor McGrath Smith, you were saying something, real quick?
We have confirmation that and it was just shared to Disabilities Commission.
House is being sold, they're no longer there, yeah, they're gone.
Yeah.
They don't deal with that.
But the house is being sold, I just want to ask her, she asked a good question.
Yeah.
So, yeah, they're all set, they're good to go. This
Okay.
is just filed through my name,
Yep.
that's all that is.
All right, then, perfect. So this is adopted. It was already seconded. This was under discussion. On the vote, Councilor McGrath Smith?
Yes.
Councilor Bacon?
Yes.
Counselor Bartley,
Yes.
Counselor Jenny Rivera,
Yes.
Counselor Israel Rivera, yes. That
A
passes.
motion to take number 13 off the table. It should be right up
Second.
Mr. Rivera's heart.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. This is filed by Councilor Bartley. The City Council amend Chapter 86 of City Ordinances and elsewhere if so deemed to allow two-wheeled vehicles to park multiple like-sized vehicles in any single public parking space as the city engineer may determine, potentially up to 3, whether metered or not metered. This shall be applicable to parking spaces in city-owned parking garages, including Mayor Talpier and Mayor Prue. The city shall allow private parking lots the option to institute a similar parking schedule for motorcycles and like-sized vehicles. Alternatively, the city allows said right to be permitted by special permit issued by the chief of police if other traffic standards do not allow the ordinance change. City Council consider adoption of Chapter 40, Section 22 of MGL. Councilor Bartley.
I'll make a motion first. Motion to receive and adopt the state law, Chapter 40, Section 22.
Here a second.
Second.
Just on discussion, this is just something that came up in the last 5 months, and I told some people that I would file it, and it just allows some flexibility, and we put into ordinance that more than one, because they're two-wheel vehicles, basically motorcycles, can fit in, our spots are usually 18 feet. Mike knows it better than me, it's 18 feet by 9 feet, I think is what it is, but it doesn't matter, I'm not off by much.
It varies, 18 feet is like, would be like a corner, corner spot, 18 by, most our parking spaces on High Maple are 8 feet wide.
Okay,
And any spaces.
Microphone.
Not end spaces should be at least 20 feet.
You gotta turn your microphone on.
so what Mike just said is basically, they're 18 by 8, 18 length and 8 by width. And so the thinking here, and what the state came up with, I don't know why we didn't adopt this before, but is that you can fit 2 or 3 bikes in there. And so as opposed to just one. So we set it by ordinance. I mean, you can't be putting signs everywhere to say motorcycle, I mean, unless like a vendor that gets a lot of motorcycle traffic wants it. But to me, it was just one of those things, if it makes sense, then we can put more than one two-wheel vehicle in a spot, instead of having one two-wheel vehicle take up a big old spot and then jam it up for the rest of the four-wheel vehicles. That was the only thinking on that. I'm not even a motorcycle rider, but I thought it might be a good idea for the city, so that's it.
No, I agree. I think it's a great idea. I'm a motorcycle rider. I think the only question I have is if it's a parking space with a meter and 2 people park there, as long is it 2 people paying or 1 person paying? I think is the only thing for me. So like I'm okay with.
I think that's a great question.
Yeah, I'm okay with.
I think only 1 person pays, because it's 1 spot. So the meter pays for the spot.
Okay.
That's how I look at it. Yeah.
I don't disagree. I got the motorcycle. I want to pay 1 fee.
Yeah, it's the meter. The meter covers the parking spot.
Yeah,
That's how I would look at it.
Yeah.
But it's a very good point.
If you have any comments, Mr. Gallagher, go ahead.
You just brought something to my mind. We talk about the meter paying for the spot, but we use that Park Mobile app now where you have to put in your license plate number.
Right.
I do not see it being an issue.
If it's 2 of them
Good point,
in
though.
one spot, yeah.
You got to do it right.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that's the modern way. I hear you guys.
Yeah, and I know you're still got your hand raised too, Meg. I got you. But like the parking lots is not as much of a concern because when you first go in, you need to get the paper, right? You gotta get that little piece of paper so that when you punch out, you still gotta get the paper. It doesn't matter you could share the space or not, but those other ones are that. But Councilor McGrath Smith, go ahead.
I'm generally in support of this, but rather than move it forward, if the maker of the order is comfortable, I would love to table it so that we could review Chapter 40, Section 22, and see what the legal language would look like, and hear from the city engineer as to, is it 3, is it 2, is it 4? If they want to put a specific limit on how many motorcycles, for example, can be parked in a single space, I'd just love to hear a little bit more and see the legal form before we vote.
Councilor Bartley.
I couldn't agree more. So my motion was I don't have it memorized, but it's Section 22 lays it out real clear, and just I'll stop it. God damn. These guys like 5-year-olds. Give me a break. the city may adopt rules and regulation ordinances as the city sees fit. So my motion is to refer this, if you notice, I put, Jeff put the verbiage right on there.
Right.
So refer this to the law department and come back with legal language for this, and refer it to the city engineer to give us his take on motorcycles, how many motorcycles can go into the spot. I mean, this is not like, you can take this up again after I'm gone.
No.
I mean, I think there's no rush on it, just want to get it done at some point. But now that you know my take and you know the law, just do it when you get around to it.
I appreciate that. So
I'll second that.
And then Jeff, I saw your hand raised real quick.
No, it was only just going to be to mention that the statute was attached to the order.
Okay, perfect. Councilor
Jeff.
Bartley covered that. So thank you for Jeff
So
for that.
the motions refer to law and Matt Sokop.
So
And
table, send it to law.
and the parking advisory committee.
And the parking advisory committee. That is correct.
Second.
Yeah. So it was seconded. Any other comments? I don't seeing none. I'm gonna say all in favor, which is not what I need to say right now. Actually, it's a roll call vote. Councilor Bartley,
Aye.
Councilor McGrath Smith,
Yes.
Councilor Bacon,
Yes.
and then Councilor Jenny Rivera.
Yes.
And then Councilor Israel Rivera. Yes.
Motion's to table.
And the motion was.
We'll refer it to
Yes.
to
Yeah.
them.
Okay. Perfect.
Now the motion is tabled.
Now it's a table. Okay. And then here second.
Second.
And then Councilor Jenny Rivera. Yes. Councilor McGrath Smith.
Yes.
Councilor Bartley.
Yes.
And Councilor Bacon.
Yes.
And Councilor Israel Rivera, yes. And then
Motion to take up item 5.
item what? 5. Can we do? I think Councilor Rivera wanted to do item 104 real quick.
Okay.
We'll do that one and then we'll do 5. Yes. There's a second. Okay.
Motion
So
to take 104 off the table.
Second?
all in favor?
Aye.
104 is found by Councilor John Rivera. Order that the city of Holyoke place appropriate signage designating a loading and an unloading zone for deliveries at the side entrance of Calle Social Club, located on Hamilton Street, which serves as a delivery access point for the club located at 273 Main Street. The designation is being requested to facilitate safe and efficient delivery of supplies to the Calle Social Club and to prevent congestion and improper parking in the area. Councilor Jenny Rivera.
So, thank you. So I had the owner reach out to me because when his delivery comes, there's people parking there, so they would have to try to park on Main Street. And Main and Hamilton is really busy all the time. You have the buses going by there. You have a lot of kids in the area. A kid just got hit there really bad on election day. So they're just looking so that they could go and deliver on the side and use the side entrance for delivery.
Thank you. I think so. Would it? I mean, it would have to be. This is similar to what we did for V-Care. Is that correct? With the parking spaces here. I think I would entertain a motion, if it's okay with you, to table it so we can have more conversations with the club owners to figure out where specifically, because there are residents that live in that building as well. And if we're kind of blocking off a section of parking where residents could park, I don't see that being fair to the residents. But across the street, there's still parking across the street where if they'd be okay with some of that during a certain time frame. So it's just like trying to get more information from them saying like, hey, we don't want to take away spaces from residents that live in the building because it's limited parking unless they're parking in our parking lot across the street, which if they are, then that would help out to know too as well. But just, I wouldn't want to like automatically take away parking from them in the morning where they can get possibly towed when they're waking up from their house. Which a lot of residents complain on High Street already about because of the meters. But that's up to you, whatever you want to do.
He was okay with having it even across.
Okay. Or even across the street? Mm-hmm. Okay. So, go ahead. You're here, Mr. Gallagher. Go ahead.
Yeah, Cayi Social Club, 273 Main Street. Is that the Domino's Club there?
Yeah, the Domino's.
It's on the corner of Main and Spring
Yep.
Street, correct?
Yep.
They're asking for a loading zone on Hamilton Street according to this order.
Oh, that is Hamilton Street. Hamilton Street's all the way on the other side. That is
Yeah,
incorrect.
that's incorrect.
Well, we gotta refile the order.
Okay, we'll refile the order.
You know, just gotta amend it.
Oh, there you go.
Okay,
Just amend
There
the
you go.
verbiage to change it to Spring Street. So that's my amendment.
Okay.
second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
And the amendment is that instead of it being Hamilton Street, changing it
It's
to Spring
Spring
Street. Correct. Thank you.
And then I would make a motion to also refer to the city engineer
Yes.
to get his take, okay?
Yep. Give me a second.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
And then roll call vote. So this is tabling it and sending it to the city engineer for their recommendation. Counselor Bacon,
Yes,
Counselor McGrath Smith,
Yes.
Counselor Bartley,
Yes.
Counselor Jenny Rivera,
Yes.
and Counselor Israel Rivera. Thank you. And then I'll entertain a motion to take up the last one, which was item 5.
Second?
Thank you so much for coming in.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Gallagher. The last one, the last one doesn't. Yeah.
Thank you.
So, thank you. You as well. Item 5 was filed by. Thank you, Councilor Bacon. Item 5 was filed by Councilor Murphy Ramboletti, where the city examine and study the Schedule A increases that were recommended by the salary study completed in 2014. So that we can implement salary adjustments that are competitive and more aligned with neighboring municipalities in order to attract and retain city employees. We've discussed, debated, this has come up several times. I have to be honest, I don't actually feel comfortable now voting on this until the next season, just because I wouldn't want to give the accusation of I'm giving myself a raise, because I already know that I'm going to be serving the next term. So for me, I'm just telling you straight up that I don't know how I would vote on this at the moment. So I'd be okay with tabling it until next season, but that's up to the will of the body. Councilor Bacon and then Councilor McGrath Smith.
thank you, Mr. Chairman. I guess I have a question about Schedule A because it looks like certain things are consolidated and people are below the minimum. So I would like to know if this is adopted, how much it would cost to bring the people that are below the minimum up in total. And then secondly, I'm hoping the committee would table it to keep it with item 4, which we tabled,
You're muffling Councilor Bacon. I'm not trying to cut you
Oh,
off.
I'm sorry.
Now-
I'm sorry.
now you're good. Now
I
you're
turned away from my computer a little. Sorry. If we could keep them together to see what we're doing with mid-range, it relates to the Schedule A. So I would just hope we could keep them together. Thank you.
Item 4 to item. You're saying item 4 to item 5 together. Okay, yeah, I get what you're saying. Councilor McGrath Smith.
Thank you. I had a few questions. I think I gave you my document. Thank you. I had a few questions for Ms. Curran. Thank you for still being with us, Kelly. I had the same question that Linda had, which is, or Councilor Bacon, sorry. So what would the collective cost of the Schedule A change be based on the changes that are here? And it does look like, we have just talked about the treasurer position being grade 14. The treasurer collector is grade 14 here. I wondered if there were any changes since this was drafted, because it's now, it's not as recent as it was when it was first presented. Is it still current, or are there other changes that would be suggested? And what is the current collective cost of adopting this Schedule A?
So it has been updated several times since it was tabled several times.
Okay.
Also, the idea was that there would be no increases immediately based on increasing the ranges. It was just to increase the ranges, not to increase employee salary. And I did have the data if we were to have to increase them for some reason or during the next budget. And I provided all that. I can look back for my documents, but those questions, like we discussed those before. I'm gonna try to pull it up now.
Thank you.
But the idea is that there would be no immediate increases, just increasing the salary ranges so that there's flexibility to hire people at a higher rate, or when we are giving raises that we don't have to use that ordinance that says cost of living only.
But wouldn't we have to increase the salary of anyone that was now below the minimum? If we put it in ordinance that that's the minimum?
Not immediately, we can, give any stipulation. It could be the next fiscal year, so departments have a chance to budget it. I'm trying to find the document that had that data.
Could it even be stipulated that it would be over a period of time? That those that are not at the minimum could be brought up to the minimum over, say, 3 years?
So the documents that I provided to show exactly where everybody is at this year. I don't know if I have screen sharing capabilities, but
Jeff.
if you look at the document, I think Jeff emailed, I don't know if he reattached it since it's been on so many times, but most people are close to the mid already. Most are not over. Most people are close to the mid.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I only saw a few people that seemed to be way off of the min under grade 5.
Real quick, just because I don't have to cut anybody off. I'm hearing mid from Kelly.
Mid,
mid,
M-I-D.
And I'm hearing min, M-I-N from McGrath Smith.
Oh, yes. I'm
different.
talking about the minimum.
So she's talking about the minimum, not the mid.
Oh, the minimum. Yeah,
Yes.
no, everyone is over the current minimum. But are you wondering if they would be under the new minimum?
Oh, I was just looking at, for example, the head admin clerk under grade 5. Looks like they're currently being paid $38,000, but the new min would be 42. So when they be brought up to the minimum year 1, or could this be stipulated that it was over 2 years or over 3 years, or would this be like, immediately for the next fiscal year?
It could be whatever the will of the body is. I just believe that we need to increase these ranges, stay current and competitive.
Okay.
All right, thank you. So, I believe the will of the body was to table, right, for now.
I'll make the motion to table.
Yes, thank you.
Second.
And wait, was there more stuff we wanted with the table? Just to be sure.
Mr. Chairman,
Oh, sorry.
Go ahead, Kelly.
I was just going to say, I think Councilor Bacon wanted to include the former order about the mid-range.
Okay. Yes.
But I think that might hold up. Like if Schedule A doesn't get approved, we still should try to move forward with hiring above the mid-range.
Yeah.
Councilor Bartley's input about defining what special circumstances are.
Yes.
In my opinion.
No. I agree with you, and I think what Councilor Bacon was recommending that they both stay together, so that when we take them up the next time, we take them both up together, so that way we're walking together, holding hands in this process instead of I'm doing one thing and then doing another thing later on. That makes sense. And I was just asking just to make sure that we do incorporate that with the table. So the motion was to table and to incorporate to make sure that item 4 also is in line with this when this one is taken up too at the same time. Councilor Bacon, I see your hand raised.
yes, and I know that we understood that there wouldn't be raises given, and I just haven't done the math to figure out what the cost would be for the people that are below what the new starting range would be. And I think usually when you pass a new range, you bring anybody who is below that minimum up at the time of passage. So I would just like to know what the cost is. I'm not saying we couldn't write it some other way. It's just usually when you change a scale and you vote it in, then you do it for the people that are below it. So I would just like to know what the cost would be if we adopt that range, those ranges on it. Thank you.
Thank you. So then the motion, are you adding that to your motion, Councilor?
Yes, please.
Okay. So then, and so the motion is, to table, make sure that item 4 is attached to it when we take it up, and that when we come back in, that that the figure, number of what the cost is of whomever is under the minimum grade, to bring them up would be, to bring them up to the new minimum grade, what would the cost be?
Yes, thank you.
That is the motion. Can I get a second? Seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
And then I got to do ayes. And then I got to do roll call vote. My apologies. Counselor Bacon,
Yes,
Counselor Jenny Rivera,
Yes.
Counselor McGrath Smith, Counselor Israel Rivera. Yes, it passes 4-0. And Counselor Bartley is not present at the moment. So, yes. Aside from that, do we have anything else to take up at the moment? If not, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn the meeting, if anything.
so moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Do I got to do a roll call vote for that one?
I don't.
I'll do it anyways, just because.
Okay.
Counselor Bacon,
Yes.
Counselor Jenny Rivera,
Yes.
Counselor McGrath Smith,
Yes.
and then Counselor Israel Rivera. Yes. Everyone have a good night, and thank you
Good
for
night.
being with us.
Thank you.
You also. Good night.
Good night.